You're here to find your voice, and we're here today with our newest engineer, Arthur Sweetman. Arthur, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
We're here today to get Arthur set up on his first quest. It's going to be about a 3-month quest here with Voice First, and the goal of it is to create data visualizations for the Alexa for Musicians platform. We have a lot of data, and we're starting to get quite a few musicians on the Alexa for Musicians platform. So the biggest thing we're missing is the ability to display that data for individual musicians. So we can see like today, Spirit of the Bears had 6 users, Its Eyes had 1, and then nobody else has had any for this week. We've had Spirit of the Bears had 6 users, Ladies Love Lonnie's had 5, but right now really the only data we're visualizing is total number of sessions. And we're visualizing that based off of these different filters of daily, weekly, and monthly. But we have this entire database, Firebase. I'm not going to show it live on the stream, but we'll look at it later. We get a lot of data from the user. What time are they using this? What device are they using? Is it Google or Alexa? There's a lot of data and different tags on these data points, and the goal of this will be to make this data more usable to the musician. The end customer that you're trying to make happy is the musicians themselves.
Correct.
So that they can take this data and use it. Hey, here is this artificial intelligence built on top of Alexa and Google. Here's the data. You're going to be providing that data so that they can say, hey, Alexa's successful for me. I'm getting a lot of streamers on Alexa, or maybe I'm not getting so many streamers. It's not successful for me, but giving them that data so that they can be in control of it. So the intention of this video is to create the actual quest outline so that everyone's on the same page as to what the work is. And for you watching, if you're out there trying to figure out how we structure contracts in terms of this future of work model, feel free to rip or steal any of this. We consider ourselves an open source company. So to get started, what is today's date? I'm going to date it for May 19th, and if you would like more time after this to look over it, get it reviewed by your legal team or whatever, take your time and we'll just redate it for a different date.
Okay.
Definitely change this to Arthur Sweetman. Scope of work. I think all of this. Okay, so we'll have the start date for this work be April. Do you have an official start date you would like to have?
No, I mean I can start as soon as possible. So
Like 20th, 21st, 22nd, following Monday.
we can do tomorrow.
Okay, so we'll start at May 20th. That's a good round number. It will be commenced before May 2020, and then it shall be completed. Let's just go, what do we call this? 10 weeks?
Yeah. They're probably
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 10 weeks would be July 29th. Does that timing work out? Would you like to just for safety's sake add in another 3 weeks?
yeah.
1, 2,
Yeah,
3.
definitely.
So we'll make it August 19th.
Do the 12th. I'll be in school by the 19th.
August 12th.
Yeah.
So you will have it done by August 12th, 2020. The rest of this is pretty straightforward. So here we go. Under this agreement, the sum of what is the total? This is the first question. I need to do math in my head. Yeah, calculator. So we want 200 plus 200 plus 600 plus 400 plus 200 plus 100 plus 100 plus 100 plus 100 for the stand-ups, 2,400. I believe that's the total number. I'm going to run it one more time just to be sure. 200 plus 200 plus 600 plus 400 plus 200 plus 100 plus 300. How did I get different numbers? One more time. 200 plus 200 plus 600 plus 400 plus 200 plus 100 plus 100 plus 100 plus 100. Okay, that number is it. So 2,000, 2,00 made in. So there will be two payout. You'll get a payout at the start and at the end of each of the different milestones. And we have a total of 10 milestones and 3 stand-ups. I think for stand-ups, we'll pay you at the end of those weeks, unless you would like that to be broken down as well into 50% at the start of that week of stand-ups and then 50% at the end.
No, it's fine as is.
Okay. So then there will be 20 payouts on the project side and 3 payouts on the stand-up side, so that will be 23 payments total that you'll receive.
Okay.
Into 23 payments. And the first one will be 100 paid on or before your start date, and your start date is May 20th. May 20th, 2020. Then you'll get another 100 paid before the first business day following receipt of contractor's invoice for services number 1. And then $100 paid before invoice for... so we'll be paying the end of the previous one as well as the start of the next one, so this will be a $200 payout. It won't be 23. I'm thinking this wrong. One at the start, one at the end, which is also the start. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think it's 10 payouts, not 23. I think I did that wrong. We'll find out as we're doing this. $200 paid out on the first business day following that. Once you finish the second one, it'll be another 100 plus half of the 600. So that's 300 plus 100 is 400. $400 for the second one. For the third one, you'll get the other half of that 300. So it'll be 300 plus half of the 400, which is 200. So 300 plus 200 is 500. 500 paid for invoice number 3. Control Z. What? I don't know why it's making that spacing different, but I'm going to ignore it because we're not here to make the design right now. Services number 1, services number 2, services number 3, services number 4. So when you complete the fourth, you'll get half of the 400, which will be 200, as well as half of the 200, which is 100. 200 plus 100 is 300. At the end of services number 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you'll get half of 200 plus half of 100. Half of 200 is 100, half of 100 is 50. 100 plus 50 is 150. 150. And then you will get, at the end of the final one, will be the final half of milestone number 10, which will be $50. At the end of services number 6, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so we have 6 milestones. This all should add up to 1,400, 1,700. These dollars on here should add up to 1,700. Let's see if we did that math right. Actually, will you verify so that it's not me just talking?
Yeah, that looks like 700.
1,700?
1,700, yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And then these last 3, services number 7, 8, and 9 are all going to be stand-ups. So those, although they are listed at the end, they will get paid out kind of in the middle.
Yeah. Okay.
And that'll be $100. I'm just going to copy this. Boop, boop. And there's our 10 payouts. $9. And then this should add up to a total of 2,000. Can you confirm?
Yep.
Look good?
Looks good, yeah.
Okay. So we defined the top. We got the payment in. All this middle section shouldn't matter. Email is sweetmaj@miamioh.edu.
Yep.
Okay. And then we need your signature line. And the role is going to be data science engineer, right?
Yep.
And the date that you'll sign. Are you going to be signing this today or tomorrow? Well, we already said I'm going to date him for today. And if you can't sign it today, just let me know and I'll redate it.
Okay.
May 19, 2020, data science engineer, Arthur Sweetman. All right. Now we're into the definition of work.
Okay.
Last one. So quest title. What's the title? Names are very important. It's definitely music related. Quest title. What's a good name? Data and musicians visualization. Musician visualization is what's coming to me initially. Well, what did we have there? Take over the radio. Musician visualization. Alexa for musicians. Data visualization. Music by the numbers.
Like that.
Music by the numbers. He likes it. Came into head. Music by the numbers. Yeah, we'll leave it as that.
Alright.
Client is voice first. Project is Alexa for musicians. Codebase is... I don't think you're in the Musicians AI Cloud function. You will have a couple different code bases because you'll need... Will you have a couple different? Yours might just be the web side. Yours might just be the web side because we're giving all the data inside of Firebase and you're building a visualization around the web. So it's a web-based visualization. You're pulling the data from Firebase into the website. Yeah, you're pulling it into the website. So this should just be the web code base. So let's go to GitLab and get the actual code base link for you. Alexa. Music. Musician AI. Where is the web site? Is it in Musician AI Cloud Functions? Ah, yeah, okay, it is in there. That's an interesting name. Whatever, we'll leave that. So that code base is right. And now we'll outline the different services, and Trello boards will be generated after.
Okay.
Requirements. So let's just start outlining these. Service number 1. Service number 2. Service number 3. Service number 4. Service number 5. Service number 6. Service number 7. And did we have 9 or did we have 10? We have 9 services defined here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yes, that sounds right. So the service number 1 is going to be build initial visualization for one musician. Service number 2 is scale visualization to all musicians. I want periods at the end of these. Integrate payment portal into website. So that'll be where musicians will actually pay to unlock these data services that you're creating. This is going to be a paid service, not entirely free.
Okay.
Add data source. So those we'll expand upon it, but those data sources can be Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, or any of their streaming platforms, SoundCloud, iTunes, Spotify, just some external data source outside of what we are already getting, so you can augment the data source with an additional source of data.
Mm-hmm.
Next will be write hypothesis. So part of this is you're actually going to write and create a work. This should be valuable for you in the long term, but think of yourself as a researcher, almost like a grad student, where you would have a hypothesis, and then this is you kind of executing on that hypothesis. So helps us because it's another written piece that we can include on our website. Helps you because as a student you want to write, so you'll write out your hypothesis. It'll be an article. Cleanup, that'll just be any remaining work, and then these payouts will be stand-ups. Weeks 1 to 3. This is stand-ups. Weeks 4 to 6. And this is stand-ups. Weeks 7 to 10, 7 to 10, 7 to 10. All right. And then these right now will all just be linked to the Trello board. I don't want it to link to individual cards because I haven't created the cards yet. Is now the time to create the cards? Do we create the cards now or do we do it later? There's no time like the Also, curious. No, we won't talk about that now. Do we create the Trello cards right now? I think we might create the Trello cards right now. That way we can link them. Okay. What did we start this with? Music by the numbers. Music by the numbers. Service number 1. Once we do one card, it should be easier for us to do multiple. We will add the label of, and I don't like that wording. There we go. Okay, checklist. So for the first one, it is start with 1. Create data visualization. Create data visualization on Alexa for musicians.com. Visualization pulls data from Firebase. Data visualization is specific to one individual musician. What else do we need? Merge request created. Merge request approved. What else do we need in here? So we have, from a visualization standpoint, have you thought about what tools you're using? I guess that's something. Pick data visualization tool. So you'll need to pick.
Yeah, I'll likely be using R and Shiny to start out. That should be able to do a lot of the app creating and visualization. And anything that I won't be able to do with Shiny, I'll probably do with HTML or JavaScript. And any features that kind of Shiny may not have.
Okay. Do you know if Interesting. I'm very curious. Very curious.
Have you used Shiny before?
No, I'm curious how this works inside of the web browser. I'm curious how this will run within your HTML code, but this is great.
I mean, Shiny turns R commands, R code into HTML output. And I can't even get the source code that it turns it into. Okay. One thing I would like to be included is the visualization should be interactive in some way. Yep. Yeah, it's an interactive platform. Visualization is interactive. I don't necessarily know what that means, but like some ability to click and zoom and some ability to click on it and it changes.
But it seems like you're already on the same page there.
Yep.
Visualization is interactive. What else do we need for this one? We've got the merge request is created. Screenshots sent of visualization via hashtag Alexa for musicians Slack channel. So be sure that you send us screenshots of it working. Actually, a screencast would be awesome. Screencast of visualization with Arthur narration That's all we need to say. Sent via hashtag Alexa for musicians Slack channel. Data visualization pulls data from Firebase. It's specific to one musician. Screenshots of that visualization are sent inside of the Slack channel. A screencast, a video of it, is also sent in the Slack channel. The merge request is created. Merge request is approved. Am I forgetting?
This is for the entire app?
This is just the first one. This is just the first. Start with
the first
one.
Part.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Okay.
I think we're good here.
For one musician.
What's that? Yeah, for one musician.
Gotcha.
Think we're good?
Yep.
Cool. So
yeah, we can add stuff. All right.
Let's copy this card, and we will call it musician by the numbers service number 2, which will be scale to all. All right, so now we've got service number 2. No, I'm still looking at musician number 1. So service number 2, scale to all. We don't need this because that's only relevant for the... Well, I guess it's still relevant for the second one. So scaling to all, we should not need to pick a data visualization tool because you already have one. The visualization will need to be created on there. Visualization will still need to be interactive. Visualization will still pull... data visualization is specific to any individual musician.
Mm-hmm.
I need to add one in. Data visualization is specific. How do I phrase this? Uses musician-specific data. I'm trying to say the visualization is going to be for whatever musician is signed in. That's whose data we should be pulling from. Like if I'm looking at Ladies Love Lonnie, he should not have any of Trigno's data. He should not be able to see any of Trigno's data. Cool.
Sure.
Uses musician-specific Firebase data. I'm going to actually put that. Trigno should not see Ladies Love Lonnie data. Screenshots of it. Screenshots sent of 2 to 3 musician visualizations via the Slack channel. Screencast of... So just one screencast of 2 to 3 musicians. So just like you going like, here's one, here's another, here's a third. And that way we can kind of see. So this is just expanding upon the first. Merge request created, merge request approved. Anything else we need for this? I think for... I didn't say where it's going to be. Pick visualization tool. Visualization exists in musician dashboard. That's where it would be on the website.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Service number 2. Same thing, but yeah, you know what? I will copy it just to be as clear as possible. Tell me, I'm curious of a check-in. It might not be the right time to check in. Does this? Are you happy to be a part of this creation process to kind of see what's flowing through and to have this feedback?
Definitely.
Okay. Next up is the payment portal. So let's copy this card. We'll call it service number 3. payment integration, and we'll copy everything. Boom. And now we're still looking at musician number 2 service, so let's move this down. Service number 3. This I don't think matters anymore because we're now shifting into payment. Data visualization created there. We don't. No. Payment integrated on Alexa for musicians.com. If musician is not subscriber, visualization is not displayed.
Would you want to do just no visualization, or maybe like a like they get like a hint, like one visualization, and say like if you want the rest?
I would love it sounds like you're talking about a freemium model where they have a free version that they do get a little taste with the ability to unlock. Mm-hmm. Love that. If musician is not a subscriber, visualization is limited. Free version. If musician is a subscriber, they can view full data visualization. This will be premium version. Payment processor. I believe it'll be Stripe. That's what we use right now. Unless we, yeah, this is what we use for now. It's defined in here. So so how will they pay? If musician is not subscriber, unlock button appears on dashboard beside free data visualization. If musician is a subscriber, hide unlock button, and if musician is a subscriber, hide unlock button and display full data visualization. My battery will last until 3. That's an hour away. What can I do? I might be able to plug this in. Get your butt over here. And if you want to jump in here as well on your screen, I don't know if that would benefit you. The link to this is at the top of the Alexa for Musicians Slack channel, so you can start looking at the cards and jump around to the ones that we've already created. And
I gotcha. Okay.
Your call there. How we looking? Whatever. Code is what matters. All right. Yeah, that's where we're at now. Okay, payment integrated. And we're charging, great. Payment integrated on there. If musician is not a subscriber, the visualization is limited. If they are a subscriber, they view the full visualization. Payment processor is Stripe. If musician is not a subscriber, unlock button appears on dashboard beside free data visualization. If musician is a subscriber, hide unlock button and display full data. If musician is a subscriber, unsubscribe button is present in profile tab. So that way they can unsubscribe. If when musician clicks unsubscribe, Stripe API is used to unsubscribe their account. When musician clicks subscribe, they are prompted to pay to add payment credentials using Stripe API. So Stripe has a built-in, they've got a built-in component that you can drop in, and when you drop in that component, it will add everything for them to be able to enter in their credit card, their name, their email, and then it'll send it off. So a lot of this might seem daunting right now, but the Stripe API should handle the majority of the work behind payment. You just need to integrate these individual components.
Right.
Screenshot sent of payment portal. Screenshot sent of unsubscribe functionality. Unsubscribe button. I guess you can't really screenshot the functionality button, but we can screencast. Screencast of subscription flow with Arthur narration. AC. Save that. Add on another one. Make it the unsubscription. All caps, unsubscription flow. Okay. Merge request created. Merge request approved. We have subscribe. If they subscribe, you use the Stripe API to integrate so that they can pay. Once they're subscribed, Stripe handles all of those recurring charges, so you don't have to worry about it. If a musician ends up wanting to leave, they have an unsubscribe button on their profile, which they can click to then unsubscribe themselves. And in this, if they're subscribed, you'll show them the full visualization. And if they're not subscribed, you will show them a smaller version, a free version of this. Cool. And a lot of this might need more definition as we get into it deeper.
Right.
Okay. After payment, we have add a data source. Would it be beneficial to copy this one or to copy one of the other ones? I think I'm going to copy one of the other cards because this payment card is going to be very specific to payment. Let's close out of this and let's go back to service number 1. We'll copy this. Copy, copy, copy. Service number 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. So we have 3 more to define, 4, 5, 6, and then the stand-ups will be easy. Add data source. Very curious who's watching this. If you're watching this stream right now, or if you are, if you're watching it post-stream when it's just there, please leave a comment of like what your role is and what you're getting out of this video. I am very, very curious who you are. It's interesting to be in a conversation with you, but at the same time having a one-way conversation with the rest of the world and whoever's watching it.
Yeah. Right.
Where's service number 4? I have data sources can include any social media platform or streaming service. Really open to you and how much work you want to do and what you feel is valuable. That can include things like Twitter. Twitter is an easy one because they have a very nice, robust API. Instagram, musicians love to spend time on Instagram, so that one would be valuable because every musician has an Instagram presence. Facebook, maybe. LinkedIn, I don't even want to list LinkedIn because I feel like musicians don't care about LinkedIn. YouTube, maybe because they probably do put a lot of videos on YouTube.
Yeah.
Streaming platforms, I want to say SoundCloud has some robust data, and a lot of musicians, whether they're big or small, should have a SoundCloud presence.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if Spotify has data, but that one would be valuable.
Right.
DistroKid, okay, I'm going to list DistroKid up top. I don't know if DistroKid has an API. DistroKid is what a lot of the musicians that I've worked with have used, DistroKid API. Oh, maybe they don't have it. The easiest way for musicians to get music, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Ah. I'll just show you DistroKid so you're aware. We can talk about it later. You upload your song in one place and then it distributes it everywhere and it gives you a link and
oh, wow.
So you don't have to worry about putting it on iTunes and Spotify everywhere. You just upload it to DistroKid and it puts it Spotify, iTunes, Amazon, Tidal, TikTok, YouTube, and more. So it puts it,
wow.
And then you get 100% of your earnings. So if you can get DistroKid, that would be awesome because it would include data across like all the platforms because it's an aggregator.
That would be a simple way to, if they do have the data from all the other platforms.
Mm-hmm. Spotify, SoundCloud, Apple Music. I don't know if anyone cares about Amazon Unlimited, but I'll put it Amazon Music.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Save that. Markdown. Save. There we go. Okay, so we want to pick, instead of a visualization tool, you will pick a data source. You'll pick a data source. You will augment, we'll say integrate data source to data visualization. Visualization exists inside of musician dashboard. I want to say that that's redundant. So we'll change this to say dashboard includes button sign in with X, where X is data source that will allow them to sign in so that we get authentication to be able to make those API calls.
Mm-hmm.
I recommend starting with one musician where you hard code.
Right.
Visualization in is interactive. Visualization pulls data from Firebase and data source. And to start, data visualization is specific to, I think to start you should build it just to one, but just very briefly in order to scale it to all of them. To complete, data visualization is specific to all individual musicians. Screenshots of visualization with data source via Alexa for Musician Slack channel. Screencast of sign in with X the screencast of sign in with X through to data. How do I phrase this? Screencast of sign in with X, adding data from new data source to visualization. Screencast of sign in with X, adding data from new data source to visualization with Arthur narration sent to Alexa for Musician Slack channel. Merge request created, merge request approved. Do you think for this, I guess you don't know until you're looking at the data. I'm thinking right now, is this going to be, will we be able to overlay multiple data sources on one single visualization, or will this be more, I think the whole thing is we want it to be a single visualization.
Yeah, like, or are you saying like pull data from all the different data sources to create the different visualizations?
Do you imagine this as you're interweaving the data, or that you have multiple different separate?
Like the data from Spotify being different from the data from YouTube? So
you're only doing one integration. So unless DistroKid gives you them all, you would only pick either Spotify or YouTube. But you have the data from Firebase and you have the data from YouTube. Do you imagine this as there's a visualization for the Firebase data and then there's a visualization for the YouTube data? Or there's one visualization and it combines them both into that visualization? Yeah. Okay, great.
Yeah.
All data sources are integrated to one single data visualization. Does that adequately encompass what we just said?
Yeah, I mean, not a single visualization, but a single set of visualizations.
Got it. Good clarification. All data sources are integrated to one single set of visualizations. Screenshots are sent of visualization with data source via that. Are we good on this data source one? Pick data source. See description above. Screenshot, screencast, merge request. This one feels complete. Do you have thoughts?
Yep.
Okay.
Like it.
Cool. We'll copy this one for the next service. Number 5. Right hypothesis. Create that card. I'm very glad we're defining these Trello cards. If we didn't, this would probably not have gotten done for another week or two.
Right.
Service number 5, right hypothesis. Think of yourself as a grad student. This hypothesis can be highly valuable in your future academic career. So we want to pick a hypothesis. Yeah, see that description above. Create skeleton of article of research paper. We'll call it a research paper. Research paper. Research paper includes research paper is, we'll call it 2 to 4 pages long, normal academic styling. Research paper includes both images and text. Research paper includes real data from musicians. Research paper can aggregate data, or so what I'm trying to say here is you can either like combine all of the musicians' data into what you're doing to say like these are the macro trends, or you can kind of focus on individuals and look at it that way. Research paper can aggregate data on high level observations, macro, or musician specific level, micro, or hybrid of both. Just very, very open. I'm just trying to put in some points here to kind of guide where it's going. Very, very, very flexible. The main intention is that you come up with some sort of looking at all this data. I would like your specific brain having this bias of statistics to think of something, some hypothesis that nobody else has thought, and then just write about it in a way that we can expand upon as we move forward. Because the hypothesis you give us, we will kind of drive with moving forward of like, this is valuable in data science because of this. This one will not have a merge request, so it will be Medium article created. Are you aware of Medium?
No.
Cool. Medium article reviewed and approved by Sweets and Samir. Medium article shared on Arthur Sweetman LinkedIn. Is that fair?
Yeah.
We don't need you. We don't need you. We don't need you. This one's very open. I don't know if we'll tell me your thoughts. Anything that we're missing in terms of the definition of writing the hypothesis?
No. I mean, I'm sure by the point we get to this, it'll be completely different, or exactly like this. I don't know. But
Heard. Facts. Man makes plan and God laughs. Okay, and then the final one is going to be cleanup. I don't even know what to put in cleanup. Let's just copy this. Clean up. Clean up. Clean up. Everybody, everywhere. Clean up. Everybody, do your show. Close all loose ends. Remove access to voice first code base. Remove access from private Slack channels. What are the other things we need? This is like Arthur slowly disconnecting from the team. What are the things that we need to make sure he is fully disconnected from so that he has the resources that he can continue to share with the world and he's not accidentally looped in with things that he should not have access to? I feel like same as what you just said. We will figure this out as we get closer. So what I'm going to do once we finish this right here, Arthur receives going away gift. Trello is something that can be edited, and I don't want... That being said, I'm going to copy this into the official document, which will be a PDF, which will be signed, so that you'll have that as like, yo, this is what we agreed upon. And then as we're going through this, if stuff changes, we'll change the Trello cards, but the initial document will be the same. That way, you can always use this document as the source of truth. This is what we will agree upon today. And then this will be kind of the reality as things progress.
Okay.
Cool. Going away, clean up. Copy. Number 7. Stand-ups weeks 1 to 3. Daily stand-ups Monday to Friday at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. Arthur will attend all stand-ups Monday to Friday at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. Arthur will say yesterday's work, today's work, and barriers during stand-ups. If Arthur needs to miss a stand-up, he will communicate at least 12 hours in advance. If Arthur misses a stand-up and does not communicate, milestone will be deducted $600 for 3 weeks. Okay, Google. Oh, well, that'll be 30 per week. 30 divided. Where's Google?
I'm not sure, but I found something for.
Did I just get yours?
I don't understand.
Okay, Google. What's 30 divided by 7?
The answer is approximately 4.28571.
Crazy how yours is responding faster. Okay, will be deducted. We'll call it 4.
So, yeah, go. Yeah.
What were you gonna say?
So this is kind of a 10-week, like what you sent me was kind of like a 10-week outline, right? And so the way stand-ups will go, looks like $100 for 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I was just gonna ask if I ever have like a vacation, like family vacation or like friend vacation or something like that, where I won't be able to make stand-ups for say a week. Will that be? I'm guessing I'll have like 2 of those weeks without really any.
Yeah. So you can, if you want to miss a whole week and you say, hey, let's just push this milestone out a week. Totally cool. I want to take 2 weeks off and I want to go on vacation. I'm going to miss 2 weeks of stand-ups. Great. If you just push those out and you still, the whole goal is to have you here for 10 weeks. So if you need 2 weeks off in the middle, totally cool. We'll just extend.
Yeah, sounds good. Yeah, sounds good. Good thing we gave ourselves a 12-week span in the contract to do 10 weeks of work.
And I think this is all we really need to say. Yeah, I think this is good. Let's just copy it. Number 8 weeks. 4 to 6. Create that card. I don't even think we need to change anything. Yep, and now we'll copy it again. We'll make this service number 9. 7 to 10. The final one is for 7, 8, 9, 10. Because if you divide 10 by 3, it comes out to an uneven number.
Okay.
So the final one is 4 weeks.
Okay.
And that is all of the services. Those are all the ways that you get paid. I don't think we're I think we have all the cards defined.
Yeah, looks like it.
Alright, so now let's define it in here. So now I'll copy the links to those Trello cards first. Number 1. That's not it. Number 1. Copy you. Boop boop. Number 2. Boop. 3. Four. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. And now the rest of it, I'm literally going to go in here and copy each of these, and that feels like redundant work, and it feels like something I don't need to keep you on here for, but is something that I am doing literally right now. So would you like me to continue going and copying and pasting, or do you think we should wrap up and then let you keep going and I'll send this to you within the hour?
Yeah, if all you're going to do is copy and paste all the Trello cards, then I think we're good.
Excellent. Any thoughts looking at this? We're now kind of recap mode at the end of the meeting.
It all looks good. I mean, I still like things will change as we get it, as we get there, like as we start building the app and integrating it. I'm sure new things will come up and we'll address those as they come.
Mm-hmm.
But as things stand right now, that all looks good.
Okay. Any thoughts on stand-ups this morning? This morning was your first stand-ups ever, right?
Yes.
What did you think of that framework, meeting the team and going through that? I'm curious of your unbiased opinion.
It was interesting. I like the idea of it, getting the team together, because like especially with the company's remote style, doing that stand up every morning at 9 a.m. to get everybody together before the workday. I like that idea. I like the concept behind it.
How'd you feel about the timing? I think this morning it was maybe 15 minutes. Typically we keep them between, depends on how long we're talking about other stuff. We usually spend more time talking about random things than we do talking about work, but usually it'll go between like 5 to 15 minutes. Is that, and really just looking for curiosity, because I've been biased by stand-ups for years, and I know in my mind it's essential. I'm curious of your thoughts around timing, value.
I like the timing part of it. I mean, keeping it. I mean, that's relatively short. And I do think that will be, that's a valuable thing. Particularly as of the way I see it right now, I see, and like for only being in one stand up, I see the value in like getting the entire team together every morning.
And then if you need additional help outside of stand-up, we can you and I can stay on the call immediately after stand-up and like do some pair programming if you need help, or if you need us to look. Alternatively, I typically schedule from 11:30 until 2 p.m. of social time when I break out of my own workflow to help. So we can get on a live stream like this, discuss the issue, instead of me screen sharing. This will probably be one of the few times that I'm screen sharing. The majority of these will probably be you screen sharing and I'm looking at what you're working on.
Yeah.
All right. I think I'm going to stop the screencast now, of the live stream, and then that way we can have a couple minutes off air.
Okay.
Any final thoughts or any final thoughts about coming into the Voice First team before we sign off?
I'm looking forward to it. I think it'll be really cool to see how this app ends up. It's cool to work with the like what you guys are doing, and for me personally, I'm excited to do like new things, expand what I'm able to do.
Thank you for joining us, Arthur.
Thank you.